In a world of fierce warriors and legendary heroes, picture a savage Norse warrior, a fearsome raider, a relentless foe, and a boisterous pagan who laughed in the face of death. You might be thinking of Ragnar Lothbrok, the ultimate nightmare for England and France, father of the legendary heathen army, and lover to at least 3 remarkable women. Ragnar's adventures read like the stuff of Hollywood blockbusters. Claiming descent from the Viking god Odin, he battled giant serpents, led armies into war, conquered vast territories in Scandinavia, and instilled fear in the unsuspecting peoples of the British Isles. Ragnar Lothbrok was the son of Sigurd Ring, a king of Denmark and Sweden, mentioned in many ancient Scandinavian sagas. His exact birth date is unknown, but he is believed to have been born around the early 9th century. His story begins when he traveled to Norway to avenge his grandfather's death in a conflict against the self-proclaimed King Fro. This era was marked by war, betrayal, and revenge. Legend has it that King Fro was unpopular among women who flocked to Ragnar's camp. Among them was a shield maiden named Lagertha, who fought alongside Ragnar and displayed the ferocity and courage of a man. After Ragnar's victorious battle, he credited his success to Lagertha's might. All the men in Ragnar's army desired her, as did Ragnar himself. Initially uninterested, Lagertha set a bear and a hound outside her camp to deter unwanted suitors. But Ragnar, relentless in pursuit, killed the bear and choked the hound to prove himself worthy. The Vikings valued bravery and strength, and this impressed Lagertha enough to agree to marry him. Together, they gained fame for raiding and pillaging coastal towns in England and beyond. Every spring, when the seas were favorable, Ragnar and his forces set sail to attack monasteries and churches, seizing their riches. Unlike other pirates, Ragnar was a sea king, a powerful ruler capable of launching independent raids and claiming lands for himself. He forced foreign kings to grant him fertile land in exchange for a promise not to raid them, becoming the first Viking ruler to establish settlements abroad. Eventually, Ragnar sought a divorce from Lagertha to marry Thora, daughter of Earl Hereward of Gotaland. According to Icelandic sagas, Thora owned a small lindworm that grew into a massive serpent. Her father decreed that whoever killed the serpent could wed Thora. Accepting the challenge, Ragnar wore specially treated pants to protect himself from the serpent's poison. Armed with a spear, he approached the creature, successfully slaying it and earning the nickname Lothbrok, meaning shaggy breeches. They married, and Ragnar continued his raids, accumulating wealth and fame. However, he soon faced civil strife in Denmark and sought assistance from his ex-wife, Lagertha, who had become a famed warrior and earl in her own right. Despite their divorce, Lagertha came to his aid with nearly 100 ships and helped secure victory against Ragnar's enemies. After Thora's death plunged Ragnar into despair, he turned to war and raiding once more. He commanded every Viking father to dedicate his weakest son to his service, aiming to show that even the feeblest Viking was stronger than the mightiest warriors of other nations. With eyes set on England, Ragnar sought recognition from the gods. He killed King Haim of Northumbria and raided various territories, provoking King Ella, Haim's son, who vowed revenge. During one of his adventures, Ragnar encountered Aslaug, a woman bathing by a waterfall. Captivated by her beauty, he learned of her cunning and tested her wits, eventually taking her as his wife. Together, they had many sons, including Bjorn Ironside and Ivar the Boneless. Ragnar's next target was Paris. In March 845, he broke his agreement with Charles the Bald of France and besieged the city with a fleet of 120 ships and over 5,000 men. Despite fierce resistance, the Vikings plundered Paris, sacrificing prisoners to Odin to incite terror among the Franks. As Ragnar aged, he faced his last major battle. Attempting to conquer England with just 2 ships, he was caught in a storm, losing most of his men. Ultimately, he was defeated by King Isla's superior forces. Even in the face of death, Ragnar remained brave, taunting Isla with the promise that his sons would come for revenge. As he awaited his fate, he delivered a famous speech, expressing his joy at the thought of joining Odin in Valhalla. He welcomed death and the Valkyries, ultimately meeting his end in a pit of snakes. Ragnar's demise set in motion the formation of the great heathen army, led by his son Ivar the Boneless, who would seek vengeance for their father's death. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more stories, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.